Hello students, in today's lecture series we will talk about the theme, language, stylistic features and other aspects of the poem The Seven Ages of Men by William Shakespeare. As you already know that in our earlier class we have tried to analyze, we have tried to find out the meaning or the basic things of this poem. Now let's start with particular certain aspects of this poem. First we will talk about the theme of the poem, that what is the main theme or major idea behind this poem. So as you already know, so this is a kind of dialogue from a poem, a kind of philosophical soliloquy which is spoken by the character Jacques in the play As You Like It, in the second act of this play. In this beautiful speech, William Shakespeare compares the world with the stage of drama and all human beings with actors. So like actors in a real drama, we all human beings come on the stage, and here what kind of stage we are talking about? The stage of the real world. So here people come on the stage of the world when they take birth and leave it when they die. During the life, every man plays several parts. So at the first he is infant when he vomits and cries in the arms of mother. In the next role he is seen as a schoolboy. Then he becomes a young lover. After this stage he becomes a soldier. So at the fifth stage he plays the role of a judge. And at the sixth stage he becomes a silly old man. And the stage of man's life is marked with forgetfulness, and at the last stage of his life he becomes totally oblivious, insane, and his forgetfulness leads to a very miserable life. As we know that at this very stage a man's life becomes miserable. Why? Because he becomes totally oblivious about everything around him, and his life meaning is totally lost at the end of his life. Means at the very end phase he ultimately proceeds towards the ultimate end of his life, that means to face his death. So this is the whole theme of this poem. Now if we talk about the language of this poem, so the language of this poem is very simple and beautiful. Even an ordinary reader can understand it well. His selection of words is really though it is in blank verse, but it is full of melody and music. And the style of this poem is that this poem is basically written in blank verse. There is enough regularity in the pattern of lines as their rhythm to make us feel we are listening to poetry, and yet there is so much freedom that we have the sensation of listening to a real speech. So like this, if we talk about other things while analyzing this poem, that the technical aspect and form in this, we can say the rhyme. What is the rhyme of this poem? Actually the dialogue has no rhyme scheme, so there is no presence of internal rhymes, and the lack of this is however more than made up by the prodigal use of alliteration and repetition. Shakespeare focuses more on the message of the dialogue rather than on the meter and rhyme here. We can, however, see a repetition of consonant sounds throughout the poem: men, merely, men, many, mewling, mourning, etc. So here we can find the repetition of consonant sound. And players, plays, parts, packing, etc. So these are prominent examples. Similarly, the final line is the best example of repetition used to emphasize and dramatize a single sentence, where the word sans is repeated 4 times for greater poetic effect. And as far as the rhythm is concerned of this poem, so it reveals that the poem has no traditional meter which is followed throughout the poem. It is interesting to note that a single line contains about 10 to 11 syllables, with the exception of the first line. We also see a stressed and unstressed syllable alternation throughout the poem, but the feet don't form a uniform meter in the dialogue. As far as the things are concerned related to figures of speech, so there are some important literary figures of speech forms, rhetorical devices, rhetorical forms which have been used in the poem, like metaphor, antithesis, simile. Here, if we talk about the metaphor, so from the very first line of this poem, I quote, "All the world's stage." So the dialogue starts with this phrase, "all the world's stage," so which is a widely acclaimed example of a metaphor, where this world is compared to a stage and the people are to actors. So here we find the metaphor is beautifully used. In the third line of the poem, where the words like exists and entrances, so in these words, the same line forming an example of antithesis. And if we talk about simile, like in the phrase like creeping like snail and sighing like a furnace and bearded like a pard. So these are the examples of simile in the text of the dialogue. So these are the basic things which stylistic aspects, thematical aspects, and the language and all these things we have discussed so far. So these are very important things to be keep in mind. And now further moving to the conclusion, that Shakespeare was not only a great poet but also a great actor, and this view of the world as a stage and human beings as actors comes from a man who dedicated his whole life to theatre. So this idea has a universal appeal. He has surprised all in his beautiful speech, which is undoubted by masterpiece passage of William Shakespeare. So this is for all now, and hope you have understood and you will enjoy the lecture. So thank you, students. We will meet again in our next class. Thank you.